next week I'm doing a nursing home, so I
Good.
shall make myself the tidy sum of £50.
We'll talk about it in a minute.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. Don't forget, if you've got any messages for all my guests today, I've got a wonderful lineup for you today. Really, really good. But this first, my first guest today was the last time we had him on. He was brilliant, and been looking forward to speaking to Joe because he's got. I've got a lot of interest in Scotland. I love Scotland, and it brings me back a lot of memories. And we're hopefully we're going back there very soon with me and my wife. But we love it. And Joe, it's nice to talk to you again. I've been looking forward to talking to you.
And to you, Steve. I've been looking forward to this all week.
Yes, all right. Honestly,
It's on
I am.
Wednesday. No, it's
Yeah,
Thursday.
yeah, yeah. So anyway, the last time we talked, what you been up to?
Well, basically, as we know, music's one of the last things the government's really interested in. So there's a little bit of live music creeping back in Scotland, more so in England. Some of it's behind screens. It's all acoustic, and there's no joining in singing or dancing allowed. So it's a bit like prohibition. The whole thing may go underground.
Underground, underground.
There's got to be underground venues for music, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, nod and the wink.
All you got to do is just kind of like open a drain pipe or something and just go into the drains or something.
What was that one?
Sorry,
Sorry, what did you say there?
I said, you've got plenty of tunnels in Scotland. You could use all those tunnels and everything and just go underneath.
Yeah, we've got tunnels full of nuclear weapons.
No, listen. We were talking about when we first met about a month ago, and you were talking about what's happening in Scotland about the music industry and about your own what you own do. I know because at the moment, yes, you can't sing, you can't do this, you can't do that, but as we come in, hopefully, we're coming to a lockdown where they're going to let all the pubs and the clubs opening. I know that down here there are pubs and clubs opening. I know they are start singing now in the pubs and the clubs down here. What's happening in Scotland then? Are they still in a lockdown or what?
Well, we've major cities, Glasgow especially, was put in number 3 lockdown or lockdown 3. So basically, nothing was happening. They opened up last Friday, I think it was. And a friend of mine did play in a pub. Well, 2 friends of mine played in pubs. It was kind of subdued. However, one of them said it was great because people just sat at the tables, they listened, and enjoyed the music, which, from a musician's point of view, playing in pubs, a lot of the time you're just a background noise. Even if there's 10 years in the band with a brass section, you'll still be background noise. So yeah, he reckoned it was nice just to have a nice quiet audience. A bit like a folk club, maybe.
Yeah, because
That's another one. One of the folk clubs opened up a bit last night and had a few of the members in a I won't mention places because
no,
some
don't no.
some of it's meant to be secret and some of it's not. But apparently you can have music, but you're not allowed to advertise you've got music.
Yeah. How about like open mic nights? What's been happening about that?
Well, that was what the one I was talking about there. My friend Crawford, he put on an open mic on Tuesday night, And he said it was very subdued and quiet, but really enjoyable because people sat and listened and clapped quietly. He didn't. Nobody used a microphone. They did it all acoustically, so there wasn't a problem with having to sanitize mics and things like that. So acoustic, singer, instrumental things like a fiddle session, a traditional session could most probably go on. In a pub in Scotland now.
Yeah, but I've got people who come on here. I've got people who play the violin. I've got people who play the harp. And they tell me that what's happening in Scotland at the moment is like it's a big, it's confusion all over the place. Do you agree with that?
I think there's confusion throughout the whole of the UK. I know we tend to be, the government here tends to be a little more cautious than they are down in England. So we're always 2 weeks behind. I say we're just being more cautious. Other people disagree.
Yeah. When you kind of like doing your gigs and everything, so you told me before we started to come on here that you got a gig lined up. Is that right?
Yeah, I've got a gig in a nursing home. I mean, I started playing full time, really on the back of nursing homes and 2 gigs that I got every 2 weeks in Scotland. Nursing homes, it's great. I mean, you go into a nursing home, there's all these people who've got dementia, and you got somebody howling up the back, oh, and you walk in. And you see people there, they're just sitting kind of subdued. And then you kind of see their feet tapping. And then you see them kind of singing along. And it's a great feeling, that you're helping people, And if the staff are great, which in most of them they are, they'll get them up to dance for the last 10 minutes. Because if they get them up dancing at the very beginning, they tend to get tired and fall asleep.
Yeah. What I want to do is I want to play this video, if I can.
Yeah.
And it's of you kind of like actually singing and everything. And I was watching this last night and I thought, I'll tell you what I thought in a minute. Hang on.
Okay.
Thanks, Bruce, for inviting me back again. Always enjoy playing here. It's Saturday night. Glass of red. Cheers, everybody. Or as we say in Scotland, slange. Here's a song. Tonight's been quite a lot of singer-songwriter songs, so I won't let you down. This one's called Deal Makes Work for Idle Hands. Good little bit of Scottish for you to try and get your head around wherever you live in the world. So, Deal Makes Work for Idle Hands. You makes work for idle hands, you makes work for idle hands, you makes work for idle hands, gonna give a job, well gonna give a job. 15 years I've just left school, I'm wondering when the day. Told my ma I had a job, well one was on its way, said one was on its way. Hey, the you makes work for idle hands, you makes work for idle hands, you makes work for idle hands, gonna give a job, well gonna give a job. 25 and I'm on my bike, I'm cycling with the turn. Taking all Maggie's advice, I'm just gone running. I'm just going round. Hey, you makes work for idle hands. You makes work for idle hands. You makes work for idle hands. Gonna give you up. Gonna give you up. 55 and I'm got 55 and I got a job and things are going well. Working way back and now I'm dead sad. Hey, you makes work for idle hands. You makes work for idle hands. You makes work for idle hands. Gonna give you up. Gonna give you up. 55 and I'm doing alright and things are going well. The Maggie drops and went to a nice big council house. Not a nice big council house. Said the new makes work for idle hands. You makes work for idle hands. You makes work for idle hands. Gonna give you up. Oh, gonna give you up. 75 and I'm in the grave where you zoot. I'm worked so hard all my life. Damn well went and killed me. Damn well went and killed me. You makes work for idle hands. You makes work for idle hands. You makes work for idle hands. Gonna give you up. Oh, gonna give you up. Oh, gonna give you up. That was Deal Makes Work. One of my own songs.
There you go.
This next one, it's a song. I've got a friend of mine. His name's Tom. And the song from the office called Tom. Tom was from Canada originally. And when he lived in Canada as a young boy, he had a pet bear. So there we go. Woman's pet bear. Some song there,
There you go.
Deal
No.
makes work, yeah.
Where was the idea for that song come from?
What I thought was, I was sitting one day and I was thinking, what would Ravi Burns be singing about if he was, writing about if he was alive today?
Yeah.
And just that kind of, this headline that came into my head, which was, the deal, which is very old Scottish for devil, the deal makes work for idle hands, which is it's quite a well-known phrase and saying, you know, devil makes work for idle hands.
Yeah.
So that's where it came from. About this poor chap who's never had a job in his life, you know. apart from the ice cream van where he was selling crack and got jailed.
Don't make me laugh. But you really are you're basically folk music, isn't it really?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. And is it just the guitar that you actually play, is it?
Well, I play a bit of mandolin and bouzouki, but just kind of chords, not tunes or anything like that.
Yeah.
I've got a bouzouki, but to be honest, I don't play it as often as I should do.
All right.
Guitars are my thing, you know. I've got about 10 of them.
10 guitars.
Yeah, no, there's a song there somewhere.
Yeah, you can kind of make a song up, can't you?
Yeah, I could work on a song on that theme. Yeah, 10 guitars.
Yeah. I've got 10 guitars. You got one less. I've got 9, and they're my really best. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Don't worry about my singing. Don't worry. I'm useless. But the trouble is, so with your kind of your folk music and everything else again, you know, I remember a long time ago when I went to Ireland, and in Ireland, I walked into a pub, and in a place called Waterford.
Yep.
And when I went in there, I was so surprised because I thought, what's everybody doing? And they were in this little group. People were playing the guitars. People were playing all different musical instruments. There were sea shanties going on. There were all sorts of music. Then all of a sudden, they started playing folk music. And do you know what? I felt like getting up doing the can-can. Honestly, it was really, the folk music was really, really good. And, you know, the trouble is these days is, do you believe that there's not enough folk music around?
I think it's, I'll put it this way, we've had a folk club in our local Balloch where I live for 30 years. And to be honest, there's not many young people come to it.
Yeah.
You know, and the difficult thing about folk clubs is they'll always be there and there'll always be folk singers. It's getting young people interested in it. I mean, it's all, to be honest, you know, it's all about what? Let me see. Death, murder, incest, you name it, it's all in there, you know. It's very exciting if you actually sit and listen to the words.
Oh yeah, and I do listen to the words, and especially you folk singers from Scotland, because you know mostly a lot of things has happened in Scotland, isn't it? You know what I mean? No offence.
Oh yeah, we've got lots of history about wars and freedom and stuff like that. As they do in Ireland. And Ireland has captured the folk thing and marketed it really, really well.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
started many years ago. I mean, I stayed in Brussels for a wee while. I was working over there, and in in Brussels, sorry, there was 17 Irish pubs in one town in Belgium. 17 Irish pubs.
Gosh,
They're all over the place. They're like a rash.
gosh. But do you think, because in these folk clubs at the moment, there are like older people, and do you think if we don't start getting the younger people in, that the folk music is going to die out?
I don't think it'll ever die out. Up in Scotland, we have they are the folk scene, but not the folk scene, where you have fiddle clubs, accordion clubs, pipers. They've got their own scene, and the pipe bands. All these things are all based around traditional music. So it'll never die. It'll get passed on. And what form will get passed on, we don't know. The biggest thing,
but it will be a shame if it did die out, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would be, yeah, but I can't particularly see that happening, Steve. There's also, I mean, you've got every now and again you get somebody who creeps in and it's kind of folky, orientated, and I was listening today on the radio as Mumford and Sons were on.
All right, yeah.
Now, they're basically a folk band. And another big band who I really love, they do get back together again every now and again, but was Bellowhead. I thought they were a great band, filling big audiences, big audiences. And same with Mumford and Sons, they pull big audiences at festivals and stuff. So yeah, if somebody listens to Mumford and Son or somebody listens to a bit of Dylan and they get interested, that's great,
Yeah. When
I mean, young people come to the folk club, they're in their 40s and so.
Yeah. But when you kind of like when you're going out singing yourself and you're going around all the pubs and all the social clubs and everything, do you ever get people like saying, do they take your singing as, oh yeah, he's really good, or do you ever get any problems from people saying, lay it off, mate, or whatever? Do you get people like that?
I get the odd one, I got a Converse trainer flung at me once.
Yeah.
I think somebody was working for Converse at the time.
No, we all know that music at the moment has been off for a while. It's all been kind of like you can't even, I know people go to church and they can't even sing inside the church at the moment. It's so
That's right.
bad.
Yep.
It's so bad, and for many people, music is their living.
Was mine.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I was just about to come on to you. Don't worry. And for yourself, that must have been a big problem for you, because if you are full-time and been relying on the money and everything, because you're self-employed probably, how have you coped?
Well, there's a couple of things. The first 3 months, when this all started, I was going crazy. But I started my own. I run an open mic every Sunday for the past 15 years. So I took the open mic and put it online, which is the Doghouse lockdown open mic session.
Yeah.
I have 5 or 6 artists on doing half-hour sets on a Sunday, every Sunday. And basically planning and organising that and getting people. I've now got 2,500 people on the page, so that's kept me motivated. Also, it's kept me playing, because if you don't play, your voice dries up. You
Yeah.
can't do a 3-hour set, and your fingers Get
Yeah,
soft.
no, yeah.
Get
But
soft.
that's good. That's good that you're playing on Facebook and you're doing all that. But
Oh, there's a big international circuit, Steve.
yeah,
That clip, the clip from that show you put on there, is for a show that's on organised by a guy in America,
yeah, yeah,
and there's another one giving gigs which is based in Australia. So I play in all these. There's a whole worldwide circuit.
yeah. I know that. I know that it's a worldwide circuit. But what I'm trying to say, because you're full time doing music into the music industry,
Yeah.
do you find that it's okay going on Facebook doing this and doing that, keep going practicing, but at the end of the day, you need to live, don't you?
Yes. Believe it or not, I'm actually 70 in October, so I'm a pensioner. So I've had my pension, and because I'm self-employed and religiously put my accounts into the Inland Revenue, I got some money from the kind of self-employed furlong scheme.
All right.
So that between my pension and that's kept me going, and my girlfriend.
Is your girlfriend a singer too?
No, she's a weaver. But I try to keep folk tradition going,
So she's just like weaving in and out, is she?
She weaves in and out, yeah.
Joe, thank you very much for speaking to me once again. I love talking to you. I think you're brilliant, mate. I think you're really, really good.
Thank you very much, Steve.
I love having you on. I think you're so funny. I'm going to get my wife to contact you again and get you in again. I hope you don't mind. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, okay. Anyway,
No
people, look, don't forget to contact Joe. Brilliant. I've been looking forward to it for the last few days because you can always kind of like get the honesty and the all the positive of Joe, and he's always makes my day. Please follow him on your Facebook, and if he's on any of the music sites and everything, or the Doghouse site, please support him because he needs your support at this moment in time. And Joe, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Steve. Pleasure to be on, and I'll see you in the future. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you for listening. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.